With a brand new year, and all of us finalizing our New Year's resolution, we thought it'd be nice to show some of the best and even the worst glow-ups and image changes in NBA history, just so you know what we should and shouldn't aim for this coming 2021. Before we start, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe with the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Welcome to Sports Surge. Dennis Rodman. Introduced to the professional scene when he got drafted into the Pistons, Rodman's early career was as standard as they came, both with his image and his gameplay. Averaging 10 points and 10 rebounds a game, he seemed all too content with what he had. That was until the 1990-1991 season, where his rebounds shot up to an average of 19 per game. This boost in his performance bagged him 2 championships with the Pistons and eventually a spot on the San Antonio Spurs. And this was where his personal life unfortunately hit an all-time low, with him going through a terrible divorce with his first wife, Annie Bakes. Following this was a series of transformations that fans wouldn't soon forget, with piercings all over his face, tattoos all over his body, and an ever-changing hair color that became a spectacle for fans and haters alike. The old Dennis Rodman who concerned himself with his image was no more. Marc Gasol. A little entry for the people watching this who want to lose weight for the coming year. Marc Gasol's story is one of determination and perseverance. Imagine the following. A 16-year-old Marc had looked up to his then 21-year-old brother, Paul, who already started his professional basketball career at the time. Took on the challenge of one day being able to stand on the same court as his brother. Being blessed with a height of 6 feet and 11 inches meant that high school basketball came easy to him. But the problem was his weight of over 350 pounds, which severely limited his play style. So he came to the realization that he'd have to lose a few pounds if he wanted a real shot at the big leagues. By 2007, he had started a professional career himself and lost a head-turning 95 pounds. His performance at the time also granted him a spot on the Lakers for a short time until he was traded into the Grizzlies with his brother Paul. The good news is that through his perseverance, he made it back to the Lakers in early 2020. Steven Adams. If you're a fan of this center from the Pelicans, then you definitely recognize his signature locks, lush beard, and striking tribal sleeve tattoos. But you may be surprised to know that he didn't come into the league looking like this. Young Steve Adams was a clean-cut and clean-shaven man when he made his debut, sporting no remarkable physical traits aside from his terrifying defense. He showed no indications of the transformation that was about to come. After his first season in 2012, his hair got longer and longer, until the point that he could pull off the ever-present ponytail. At the same time, his beard was also starting to grow along with his significantly more muscle to boost his plays. Don't be fooled by his gruff looks, though as it's agreed by most that he's one of the nicest people in the league, both on and off the court. Chris Andersen. Also known as the Birdman, you'd know if you come across this person anywhere on the court. Often called one of the most colorful people in the league, literally as he has the most tattoos out of any player that are currently active. Starting out with little more than a couple of tattoos hidden behind his shirt, he soon made a name for himself for both his time in the Nuggets and Heat. No one could have imagined that he would look the way he does now, with less skin than tattoos and a signature mohawk. It's hard to not notice him on the court. His most well-known tattoos, though, are the ones on his neck that spell out Freebird, and the wings on the underside of his arms that earned him his nickname. Joel Embiid. When you think of athlete transformations, it's usually weight loss or building muscles, or even accessorizing with tattoos and piercings. However, this wasn't the case for the 76ers power forward, Joel Embiid. Starting off his career looking severely underweight, with little to no muscle or fat to speak of, he eventually turned out to be one of the largest and most intimidating players to come on the field at 7 feet and 127 kilograms. This was mostly due to his eating habits, where he'd wolf down hamburgers at an alarming rate, which sometimes garnered both concern and hatred from his fans about how unhealthy it was. He also has a wingspan of 7.5 feet that let him easily overpower and even outright bully most of the competition. Shaquille O'Neal. A player who was as big as he was skillful, Shaq combined his colossal height and weight into a destructive weapon within the NBA. But it wasn't always that way. He started out the league as a lean, fast, but still powerful center at 7 feet 1 inch and 290 pounds. Later in his career, he would gain more and more weight, eventually peaking at almost 400 pounds, which took its tolls on his knees. In his prime, though, he pushed 340 pounds, but was still able to maneuver to his full potential with even more power than when he started out. There's no telling what he could have achieved had he maintained his prime condition, but it's difficult to say he's had more than enough success just being who he is. James Harden. Chubby and unathletic as a child, James dreamt of a career playing the game that he loved, so he worked hard towards it. After a brief stint with asthma in his early years, he transformed his high school sprouting up to 6'5" and slimming down significantly. When he got into college, his skills needed to be polished, eventually making him one of the most skilled players in the collegiate level. This was also the time that he started growing out his signature beard that we all know and love. Naturally, he made it into the professional league and would continue his commitment to his body with a new and improved diet and workout routine that he followed religiously. He went on to sport a full six-pack of abs and bulging muscles, which of course translated to being one of the best scorers and defenders in the entire league. Giannis Antetokounmpo. If you haven't watched Finding Giannis, the documentary on the life and career of Giannis, then we suggest you watch it immediately. There's a lot more than what we're going to cover for this entry. As a young poor kid in Greece, Giannis often found himself working on the streets to put food on the table, which didn't always work out for him and his family, so he almost got used to being underfed. That was until he discovered basketball and started a career at the age of 18 and looked extremely skinny. Fast forward to 7 years later, and he's one of the most powerful guys on the league, at 7 feet and over 240 pounds. He more than made up for his early skinny years and was even the reigning NBA MVP for a good while. So what do you think of the ridiculous transformations in NBA history? Do you know of another player that should be on this list? We'd love to hear your opinions and thoughts in the comment section below. And if you're new to Sports Surge, give us that thumbs up. Subscribe with the notification bell for more amazing content. Until next time.